Hello. Hope everybody's doing well, staying hydrated out there. I'll be 2020, a variety streamer, content creator. You guys call me D, Don Long. I got a lot of different nicknames. My pronouns are he, him. Happy Black History Month to everybody out there. I always like to say, we are not limited to 1 month because Black History is all around. If you know, you know. For socials, you guys can find me like on Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. I'll have the same mention, DamoB2020, so you can find me on any of those. Do not have a Twitter anymore just because I'm tired of Elon's mess. I guess just tell you a little bit about me and myself. As growing up as a mixed boy, I'd say, a mixed individual. My family is from Louisiana, so they like to call us Mutts, Black, French, Spanish, and Native American, or Indigenous, as we like to call it. I have a Takapa, I believe is how it's pronounced. Not too familiar with my Native heritage as much as I want to be, but I'm very open into learning. I love learning new facts, especially about history, Native history, Black history, the real history. I like to know, for sure about that. Say for me, growing up, I'm light skinned, so as you can see, I'm not exactly, at least dark. So, but as it may be, it's always harder for people of color when you're growing up. Things are a lot harder to reach out for you to get. We always have to work harder than everybody else. By everybody else, you know what I mean. At least a lot of people should. Growing up, single mom, dad wasn't really there, just me and my sister. Mom was, working very hard to take care of us. I was a very troubled kid. I was diagnosed with ADHD as a child as well. Definitely follows me in my career, all my life. Cannot keep my idea on one thing without shooting to 3 more. I didn't really dabble into historical events that were really happening to me when I was a child until I started getting older, because when you're younger you kind of really don't pay attention to too much because you're just focusing on what's interesting you at the moment. Cultural differences definitely played a part growing up, just not being able to get stuff that you wanted to all the time just because things are harder. Like I said, things are very hard for my mom when I was younger. And of course, even now, things are still hard. Not as bad, but time we're living in. Know your history, folks. Know your history. Because if you don't, we are doomed to repeat it. Always remember that. If you see any historical facts out there, HED history. Because some people try to twist it and make it their own version. But yeah, I didn't really start getting into really my cultural history, I guess, until quarantine hit, I'd say. When quarantine hit, that's when I really started kind of paying more attention to things that were going on in the world, things that were affecting so many people in so many ways, and not in a good way. Let's say 2020, 2020 was whenever a lot of things opened up for me. Mental health, started dealing with that. Being selfish, doing things for myself instead of doing for others all the time. I have 2 boys as well, so those times were very difficult with the relationships that I led in the moment, because we all make mistakes. We live through them. Definitely lived through my mistakes. I'm a better person from it now, I feel. Now I definitely feel like I am definitely more in touch with my culture. Definitely more in Black history. Native history, I am learning more and more, especially now that I am a part of the Indigenous Alliance, the IndigiHorror Squad, and I'm a part of the Twitch Black Guild, which I am blessed to be. I'm so glad to be a part of all these amazing organizations that diversify and show, just how great us as a collective are. Because a lot of us don't get to shine like we should. And I feel like we're all shining stars out there. I feel like we all eventually will get our moments. It does take time, but I feel like we definitely will get there. What does it mean for me being a Black creator? Not only a Black creator, but a Black horror creator. I feel like it is very important. It's very needed. It's diversity, it's something different, something that the world needs. I have just kind of started dabbling more into the horror space. horror games used to freak me out. They still kind of do, I'm not gonna lie. So there's only like a certain amount of horror games I can actually play out there, but I'm getting better. I promise I'm getting better. My first real life horror game it wasn't the original Slender Man game. It was the one that came out on PlayStation that was kind of like more 3D. I remember it was this one where this dude was chasing you in this warehouse. If you didn't keep the light on him, he would still chase you. That game freaked me out so much. But yeah, I think it's very important being not only a black creator but a black horror creator, because we're bringing diversity. We're bringing more than just what you normally would see in content. I think we bring a different style, we bring a little bit more flavor. But it's good to see. It's actually, and it's great to see that the space is expanding more on that and showcasing more great talented black creators, especially in the horror scene, because there are a lot of them. Look, we're everywhere, dude. we would get into every nook and cranny of any space at some point, okay? Because it's kind of like there's a niche for everyone, so there's always space for you somewhere, so don't forget that for sure. I'd say my favorite horror game at the moment, I'd probably say DVD. I remember when I first started playing DVD, because I used to be a killer main, actually. And I said if they ever brought Chucky out as a killer, I would become a killer main. They brought Chucky out. I became a killer main. I was like a killer main probably for I don't know, maybe like a month or so. I'm not that great. I used to not be that great at DVD. Then 2D8 came out. That's when I really got into it. I got a bunch of friends together and we were hooked. It was such a fun game. I learned how to flashlight people. I started learning how to loop. Amazing. So, DVD. It has its moments. There's a lot of toxicity there. Don't get me wrong. That's the only bad thing about DVD. It's a lot of toxicity out there on the killer side. I mean, there's probably some toxicity on the survivor side, but more so on the killer side for sure. But I also like games like Devour. It's a little freaky when they catch you and you get that jump scare, but I also like Outlast Trials. I mean, I guess, I don't know. Somebody told me that horror classified as like Lockdown Protocol. So I like games like that. Lockdown Protocol is awesome. But yeah, favorite DVD for sure. 2v8 is supposed to be coming out this month. Can't wait for it. Again, they just need to unlock it, leave it for everybody to play, because me personally, I love it. So please, can we keep it? Please. DVD. Please. I guess if there was one thing that I would love to see in the horror industry right now, is just more, honestly, just more diversity. I feel like we just can't get enough diversity, especially with things happening in the world that are trying to take away our diversity. Especially just films, games, comics, everywhere. Man, I feel like there's a lot of horror games out there that bring their own uniqueness to it, so I feel like every game out there is pretty solid on that aspect, Every horror game kind of has that horror aspect for sure, where you get freaked out, you get jump scares, you have to get in chases, you have to find stuff. I feel like every game already just has their own uniqueness to it. They just need to continue to bring uniqueness to this space, to the horror space. Just diversity, please. When you have somebody that looks like you in a game, it just makes you want to play it more. It makes you proud. It just brings a lot of meaning to us, because it's like, yes, representation. That's the word. So yeah, representation matters. I think if we can get more diversity and representation in the horror industry, that would be amazing. That's all I have to say. It's a happy Black History Month again to everyone. I'll stay hydrated, practice your self-care, and as always, peace, love, and positivity. Y'all can catch me live on Twitch and sometimes YouTube, because I do playthroughs on there. So check in on the socials. Later.